Alright, you want to open the episode?
I don't know how to open it, Jolin. I'm scared.
Just be yourself.
But Jolin, there's a creature behind me, sitting in my chair. He hides in the closet at nights, and when I wake up, thinking that I closed the closet door the night before, I find it open. At first, I think that it's just my shirts. You know, I kind of like the Monster Scene kid. I see a little sweater shirt hanging on my chair, and I'm like, oh, it was just that. But then, throughout the day, I feel this presence of unease, like something's watching me from behind. And at night, whenever I'm not paying attention, from the corner of my eyes, I could see some eyes glaring at me. I fear for my life every night, Jolin, and I don't know what to do.
Isn't that just Pieter, the study abroad student from Belgium?
What?
Yeah, you know, Pieter. He's told him he can stay at your house for the semester because he's studying abroad.
Oh, so that's who it is?
Yeah. I don't know how you forgot. He you told him like I don't have an extra room, but you could stay in the closet, and he was like more than willing.
Oh my God.
He goes and makes breakfast for himself every day. I don't know how you forget, man.
You just relieved a giant weight off my shoulders because I mean, okay, in my defense, Pieter is, very quiet and he's very shy. I completely forgot he was even there.
But that's just how the Belgian people are.
He is very
Actually, I don't know that. I don't want to stereotype anybody.
Yeah, Oh man. Well, welcome everybody to another podcast of CafeTalk, or I don't know. Are we still calling it that, Jordan?
Yeah, it's still CafeTalk.
Awesome. Well, welcome back, everybody. We're glad you're here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Guten Tag.
So that was our little intro segment of fear and the unknowing. What scares you? What do you fear? The unknown? Do you fear death? Do you fear crocodiles? Do you fear spiders? Do you fear snakes? Or do you fear something that most people consider common, like a stapler? Like with their teeth and their metal jaws. What could be more scary than that? Anyways, moving on. Jolin, how you doing?
Hard-hitting questions. I stay up in the middle of the night because I think about when I was a kid and I was playing with my truck. I would see my dad stand over me with a belt and he would grin.
Whoa.
No, I'm just kidding. It never happened. It never happened. It's a joke.
Jesus Christ. Jolin, you are like the master of taking it to a dark place. I thought I was pretty good.
I can't even take credit for that joke. It's a joke that Zach, Psychic Pebbles, made while he was on, when Sleepy Cabin was still a thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he said that.
Oh, really? That's pretty good.
It's very good. But I'm doing fine, just taking it day by day in quarantine.
Yeah, I was literally about to ask you about that. Are you okay during quarantine time? No fatigue has happened to you? You still had things to do throughout the day?
I feel like I gained some weight. Eating good food and just doing nothing all day. Just put the pounds on.
That's true. I mean, what else is there to do? Like when you're bored, you just start getting hungry for some reason.
Yeah. So, Victor, I understand you got some questions to kick off the episode.
Well, I mean, okay. So since this is just a quick, short story, I'll kick it off with this.
All right.
Remember a few podcasts ago, or maybe probably our last podcast, we were talking about the Karens that have been roaming around recently.
Mm-hmm.
I had personally encountered a Karen today.
Victor, are you okay? Did you survive? How many fingers am I holding up?
Jolin, I can't see you. I'm sorry.
My God, he's blind.
Yeah, no, it was just it was a mild Karen. It was just like it wasn't anything too extreme, but I could tell that maybe she was in a good mood. Probably, I don't know what the case was, but the story goes that today I went to go to the Costco superstore, and I went to go get gas because Costco got that cheap gas, man. You got to get it as cheap as you can, even in quarantine time. So I went over there and I realized I haven't had the Costco pizza or the hot dogs in a good while. And
oh my God, the chicken bake.
Ah, dude, they don't have that anymore.
What?
Yeah, because of quarantine, they took out their entire menu, and all they're selling is pepperoni pizza and hot dogs. That,
Aw.
yeah, like I personally really like the ice cream that they sell there. Um, anyways, I wanted to buy pizza for my family because I was like, you know what, none of us have had this pizza in a while, so might as well, go get some for everybody. And I parked my car after I go get gas. I parked my car in the parking lot, and the way the parking spaces are designed is that they're just lines, and you have to park properly in your spot without going over the line, or else the other person in the other lane can't park properly themselves. Unfortunately, this Karen's car was parked pretty much over the line where like almost her front wheels were touching the line. So I myself, driving a big truck, had to get real close so that my booty isn't sticking out and someone could potentially hit me.
Mm-hmm.
So I parked really close. I inched myself slowly, and I didn't hit her. I was like still 2 inches like away from her car, so it was safe. And I come out of my car, like the entire time I'm slowly easing in, I see her like packing her stuff into her trunk, and she's like giving me that side glance, like, "Are you gonna hit my car? Are you gonna hit my car?" Like, she's constantly looking at me. So I was like, "Don't." In my mind, I was like, "Don't worry, Karen. I know what I'm doing. I'm a proper driver. I have skills." Blah blah blah. So I park the car. I get out, and right away this lady sees me, and she's like, "Excuse me, um, could you not park so close to my car? I saw that you almost hit it. Okay, next time be more careful." And the the thing that came to my mind, I was like, I am not gonna handle your shit, lady. Like, you're the one that's in the wrong. I had to do my best myself, so do not dare pass this blame on me. So I just replied the same way she did, and I was like, excuse me, lady, can you learn how to park your car properly? Because clearly your car is way too in front, and and that's why I had to park so close to yours. And on top of that, I didn't even hit your car whatsoever, so we're all okay. As soon as she heard those words coming out of my mouth, I think she like
Oh
expected
wait,
me
you
to
told
just,
that? You said that to her?
yeah, I said those exact words to her. I was like, can you please
Oh.
learn how to drive or park your car properly? Um, and I guess she expected me to just either dismiss her and stay quiet and just ignore her, or to like, apologize. But when she heard those words coming out of my mouth, she actually was like, she gave me that shocked look of, "How dare you, sir, speak to me in such a manner?" But she didn't
No,
say
I
that.
never.
Yeah, she just gave me that expression of like, "Why I never," and she just like gave me a little humph of little like air out of her nose, and she just went back to like stuffing her car with her stuff more aggressively as I walked by her, and then she just got into her car and like drove away. And I was like, "That's right, Karen. I know what I'm on to you. All right, I'm not gonna take your shit."
Nice. What kind of car did she have?
She had a little tiny Honda,
Mm.
which is what makes me which is what made me a little more irritated at the fact that she had to park so far in, because a tiny Honda, if you like park normally, you're protected by bigger cars on the side of you, you know.
Yeah, as someone who drives a small car, I know.
I could tell she was a calm Karen, like she was in a good mood, because as soon as I said those words, she gave me that that expression of "I never," and then it looked like she wanted to say more, like she was gonna tell me like, "How dare you, or how do you not respect your elders," or something like that. Like I could tell something was coming, but she
Yeah.
herself like stopped herself, and she was like, "No, not today. I'm just gonna let it go." And
No, okay.
so she just like drove away. That's why.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, but that's my experience today.
Fair
I
enough.
survived the Karen attack.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Aside from that, Jolin, would you like to share any Karen stories that you have?
Uh, I don't think I have any Karen stories.
You've never experienced one in the wild,
No, I mean I've been indoors for like 2 months.
even for markets and essentials.
I haven't gone to the market.
Wow, look at you, Mister. I could afford delivery to my door.
No, because my aunt, she's been taking care of us.
Oh, really? That's nice.
Yeah, she goes to the market for us and she buys us stuff.
Oh, see, that's a true one. That's a real one right there. A true family
Yeah,
member.
she's like my dad's youngest sister.
Yeah.
And they're only like 6 years apart or 5 years, so that she really sees him as like a big brother.
Aw, that's adorable.
Yeah, so it's pretty nice. I mean, my mom still occasionally goes to the store when she wants more like Mexican ingredients.
The spices that she misses.
Yeah, but yeah, we haven't really needed to go out.
Now that you reminded me, have you seen that TikTok where it's like, why is it so spicy?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I'll send it to you later. It's not part of the conversation. It's just it brought it up, so I wanted to mention
Okay.
it. But as for the questions that we have for this podcast today,
Uh-huh.
I believe you had the topic, Jolin, didn't you?
Oh, all right. So Victor and I, before we started recording, we were discussing kind of like this, I guess you can call it a trend, even if it's only been two people so far.
Oh, I mean, it's what we've noticed with just two people.
Yeah, so we noticed that there's this like thing that these artists, especially musicians, they're retiring early. You know, one of the biggest examples is Logic. He said that he has like one more album and he's done.
Yeah.
And then
that's why he started his Twitch contract.
Yeah, and then that's why he got a contract with Twitch. But another example that most people might not know is Oliver Tree.
Yeah.
He's like I don't really know how to describe his music aside from just being like a little bit satirical.
Like what? Like where?
Kind of like how Lil Dicky calls himself like an anti-rapper.
Yeah, is he kind of like that?
He would just be like an anti whatever genre fits him, like anti-pop.
What's his name again?
Oliver Tree.
Oliver Tree. It sounds familiar, but I don't believe I've ever heard his music.
Yeah, so like on one of the most recent H3 podcasts,
yeah,
they had a one-on-one with Oliver, and he's like I'm just done with all of this. And it's because he had such a bad experience with the industry and what are they called? Like production companies, things like that. He had such a bad experience. Like this most recent
with the
album, Ugly is Beautiful, took him 5 years to get out because people just kept on saying no.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And like he even says himself that when he first got signed on, they didn't let him even record because they were like, we want our artists to have a following. So before you get any like studio time or we do anything, we want you to get 1 million followers.
On social media in general?
I think so. I don't know if it was just YouTube or Twitter or anything, but they were just like, we want you to have 1 million followers.
Okay.
So he reaches this goal in like 7 months, and then he goes back to the record label and tells him like, hey, I got the 1 million. What do we do now? And then they just give him the runaround and it's like, 1 million's good, but we really want our artists to have like 2 million.
Damn, that is messed up.
So he keeps playing this game with the record label, and then finally they're like, all right, we want you to do some EPs or some LPs,
Like start off something small and we'll work from there.
Yeah, so that way people can get a feel for it and you can start to like, I don't know, put it out on like Vivo and shit like that.
Yeah.
And he just, after 5 years of doing all this, he was just like, I'm done. I hate this. I'm going to pursue other passions of mine.
Damn, that's so disappointing to hear, because it's like, if it was his passion at first, you could tell that this process is what killed his enthusiasm to pursue it.
Exactly. And it's like the Logic example and the Oliver Tree example are like two sides of the spectrum. Because Logic was doing like everything right, he's on the top of his game. Like I think the most recent album he released was I don't remember what it's called. I think it's called like Homicide.
Yeah, the one with with the no, I think wasn't that Thoughts of a Dangerous Mind or something like that.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
There we go. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Yeah, that I believe that was the newest
Yeah,
one.
he released it last year and it got such good reviews. You know, Every Day was such a good album.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Tarantino 1 and 2 were they were different, but people were still accepting of it. And then obviously like uh, what is it? Incredible True Story and Under Pressure were like, this is Logic.
Yeah.
So he was like on the top of his game, and then he just decides like, this is gonna be my last album.
Yeah, because I remember hearing about Logic because of the massive amounts of praise he was getting from you know from people itself. You know, my friends like you and Edward. You guys were like big more into the music scene, so you guys were telling me just how much praise this guy was getting for his like lyricism and his music and his songs, that I researched into him and I fell in love with him too. Like I loved his music and I listened to like every single one of his albums, and you and me have both read his book as well, and I
True.
personally really enjoyed that book.
Actually, Victor, hold on to that idea. We're gonna have to take a quick break for our Spotify listeners.
Okay, yeah. Thank you guys so much for sticking around, and we'll be right back.
For those of you on YouTube, if you're on the go, you can listen to us on Spotify. And yeah, thank you for those of you listening. Just thanks, and we'll be right back.
Yep.
And we're back. How's it going, Victor?
Hello, pretty everyone. Good. Hello, everybody. Thank you for sticking around through that.
And before we went to break, Victor, you mentioned that we read Logic's book. We actually did a podcast reviewing it, and it's going to be up there in the corner as one of the cards. You can check out the link.
Yeah, and I personally really enjoyed that book. I don't remember exactly what I said about it, but I do remember the story quite well still, like even after all this time. And I want to buy it myself because I borrowed it from you when we read it. And
oh, really?
Yeah, I actually want to buy it just to have it in my collection because I've been wanting to just go back and reread it, even if I already know how it ends. I just enjoyed it. It was just
a little side note. I've been wanting to like reread some books that I have. Just because like I remember enjoying them a lot.
Like which ones?
Like 13 Reasons Why and Supermarket and Frankenstein.
Yeah, I mean the best part is that like for Supermarket and 13 Reasons Why, they're an easy read, so it's like you could get through it in a day, and it's so entertaining for that time that you're reading it.
Yeah.
All right. So what were we talking about before we went on break?
We said something about like how Oliver Tree and Logic are on opposite sides of the spectrum on why they're deciding to just retire early.
Yeah. Just on that aspect, it's very strange because I've noticed two examples of how the production company is treating their new artists the way you're explaining.
Yeah.
And one example I could think of is pretty obvious, like Little Dicky. Because he used to be since he was quote unquote anti-rap, he started, or at least his music videos, the way I was introduced to them was through YouTube. Like he was making his own videos. I don't know if he was like, being paid for it, or I don't know if it was just like out of his own free will that he was making these videos. But when I was introduced to him, it was just his music, and it was very like spoof, like parody of sorts, and it was funny. Yeah. And then like the way I perceive it is he went to go talk with like Snoop Dogg's label, and that's why he made a whole music video about it, like becoming a professional rapper and getting accepted because he had this huge following on YouTube and social media for his content. And because I guess Snoop Dogg noticed he was like getting all this attention, he gave him a shot, like, okay, well, maybe there's something there and we could explore it. And I believe that's why maybe it gives an example as to like maybe why another production company would see that and be like, oh, maybe it'll be much easier to get a crowd, or at least secure funding, or at least secure what's the word for it, income, make
Mm-hmm.
sure that they receive the money that they're going to be spending on if they already have an audience behind them,
Yeah.
which only makes it harder for people like Oliver Tree, because they're so demanding on wanting 2 million people, and it's like it's not an easy thing to do. No matter how good you are, it's you got to struggle to get those people to subscribe to you and follow you and just want to retweet your stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're close to hitting our third anniversary on YouTube, and we're only at like 50 subs. Like and subscribe.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like we're incredibly grateful for the people that do want to listen to us and follow us. That's why we
You
love
know,
you
I
guys
thought
so much. Well,
I
what
thought
happened?
you
Go
were
ahead.
gonna say like we're incredibly amazing. I don't know why.
It's
Like
like
it sounded like.
we put out quality content. I don't understand why we're not a million already.
I know, right?
But yeah, no, like I honestly didn't expect to receive so many people to subscribe to us that fast. I mean, you know, it's not as fast as other people, but at the same time, it's like I'm still shocked. There's people that want to listen to us, so that's why I'm so grateful whenever we put out like a podcast or a playthrough and people are watching it. And I like that. I'm happy. Um, and I guess the other example that I had in mind would be Joji.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, because he started on YouTube being Filthy Frank. And I read this article one time where the fans of Joji were shocked, and sometimes some of them were even upset at the fact that he was Filthy Frank. Like that showed that people that started following him when he started his music career had no idea about his past as Filthy Frank on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I get the sensation. I'm not 100% sure on this. I don't know if it's even factually correct whatsoever, but I get the feeling that the production company that sponsored Joji or helped him make his dream come true of becoming a musician was because he had this great following on YouTube, and the few videos he made starting out his music career was because the people that loved him as Filthy Frank, they saw this new video and they're like, oh, okay, he has potential, he sings really well. So I'm guessing that's why Joji, when he started his music career, he had so much positive attention from his fans already as Filthy Frank that they were encouraging him and telling him that this is a good idea to pursue this new uh, hobby or this new talent that he had. And that's why I'm guessing that when he went to go try and get sponsored or get like a label on him, they agreed because they already saw he had this positive opinion of the masses, which would be an easy place to get revenue, get income if they were to ever like support him and sell his album, which it did, or at least that's what I've been hearing. Like people loved his music, and he's even been to like concerts and performed, and people just go crazy over him. So clearly, and then that article that I read that people were upset about him being Filthy Frank in the first place, that shows that there was success in bringing him into the music world and it working out. Um, so I'm guessing that's what other production companies saw, and they were like, we could do this, we should do this, just to secure that there's that audience whenever we do release that first album, there'll be people buying it for sure.
Um.
Uh,
Well, the Joji story is a little bit different than that.
oh, really?
Yeah, because even while he was Filthy Frank, he had another persona, Pink Guy,
Yeah, I
and
remember.
Pink Guy was his way of still pursuing music while he was Filthy Frank.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Pink Guy has a bunch of like, even though they're comedic, he has a bunch of raps and songs that he made.
Yeah, I remember he has an album of just pure Pink Guy, right?
Yeah, but once he decided to actually make the switch, the label that picked him up, which is 88 Rising,
Uh-huh.
was started by Rich Brian, who made his debut on YouTube as Rich Chica.
Yeah, I remember him too.
So it wasn't that hard for Joji to get picked up because one of the founders of 88 Rising, freaking Rich Brian, came from
Mm-hmm.
the same roots as Joji.
Oh, okay. I see.
And then Rich Brian had a huge following. Joji had a huge following when he decided to transition into music, and all the other artists that 88 Rising picks up, they already had these huge followings because there are all these like this like new wave of music entertainers. They don't go the traditional route where you get found by an agent and they're like, "We're gonna make you a star, kid." They build themselves.
Exactly.
So that's the only difference, like with Joji.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's pretty much the essential, like where I was getting at, where I'm guessing maybe a different label noticed this and they were like, hey, maybe this is a new form or idea that we should test out ourselves, in which we get the artists to promote themselves, like they themselves do all the advertising for us on social media, get these followers, get them interested, and then we could pay to release an album and get our money back on that.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's a sign of the times, because if you look at different styles of advertisements, say commercials and billboards and advertisements in newspapers.
Yeah.
Like no one really reads newspapers anymore. No one looks at billboards that often, and like us Gen Z people or like Zoomers, we don't own TVs. We consume everything on YouTube.
Yeah, just like mostly PCs
or streaming services that
exactly
you pay a price so you don't get ads.
Yeah, so it's very hard to get that advertisement out to people like us.
Exactly. So the only way that they can really, get the word out that like, hey, this artist that I have is doing something, is for the artists themselves to like go out and talk to their audience.
Yeah, in order to go directly to that media where all these people are watching that potentially don't have ads, and pretty much make videos and content that entertain them, and then eventually, act as advertisement for themselves in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's what I'm saying. So, but it's hard, you know what I mean? It's not gonna work out every single time, and it could potentially lead to someone being incredibly talented and not being able to get those subscribers or get that attention, or even then, like what's happening with Oliver Tree, where it's too demanding because you have to balance two different aspects of the industry by yourself, and it's just like you realize that it's not what you really wanted to do in the first place, so you just want to retire earlier than
I don't know, this whole like early retirement thing, it stuck out to me because musicians retiring is not anything new. You have musicians who retire, but I feel like they always they have a soft retirement. They're just not in the game anymore, but they can jump back at any moment. A good example is Eminem.
Yeah, that's literally what came to mind right now.
He just came out with an album or a mixtape like maybe a year ago. And then more like soft retirements or like Snoop Dogg. I feel like Jay-Z and Dr. Dre are like officially retired. Like they don't do music anymore. They do the production sides.
Yeah, like once they started their own companies, that's what they decided to focus on, and people were okay with that. They noticed, they knew what was going on. They were like, yeah, like clearly they're too busy with more important stuff, and we're fine with that.
But then, yeah, you have people like Eminem. Who's another person? I mean, Kanye came out with an album, or I think he's going to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because his last album was like, it laid heavily on like religion and kind of like that church choir vibe. But a bit before that, it'd been like I don't know how many years since he released an album.
Yeah, I'm not a follower of Kanye, so I'm not sure myself.
Neither am I. But you pick up things, you hear people talk about it, so you're just like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
and especially since Ian he used to be Ian the intern, but now he's Ian the paid employee.
At H3 podcast.
Yeah, the H3 podcast, since he's like a pretty big Kanye fan, I get my Kanye news through him.
That's a good source.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable talking about Kanye just with all the stuff that he's going through.
Yeah, it's very, I mean, especially at least for us that aren't huge Kanye fans, I feel like it's not territory that would we could be solid on our opinion on.
Yeah. But Post Malone, however,
That's you, man. Like, yeah, honestly, I would be interested in anything you brought on the table because I have no idea what's going on with
no, I
Post.
mean he recently like shaved his head.
Did he really?
Yeah, and he got like a new tattoo on his face.
Yo, I haven't seen that. What? I haven't even heard of this. I
Yeah,
did.
it was after he released that like single with what's his name? Like he came out on a single that someone else made.
Uh huh.
Um shoot, who is it? Uh it's supposed to be a Post Malone fan. Tyler Yahe. I don't know what the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he came out on a single called Tommy Lee. It's pretty good. I recommend it. But after that, pictures came around. It's showing that he shaved his head
Mm-hmm.
and got a new tattoo. So I mean, he says he's working on a new album.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, well, that's. I mean, I personally enjoy his music.
it's just like, and a point that Oliver Tree brought up in the H3 podcast was like, now with the global pandemic, it's like the worst time to release music when
Yeah.
it comes to like the monetary side. When it comes to the actual people who digest your music, it's like the best time because there's nothing for us to do.
Yeah.
But you know, usually when you release an album, you have like a tour for your album, you have concerts that you can attend, you have signings, you have meet and greets,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
but you can't do any of that.
Yeah, because nobody's allowed to be in public spaces anymore.
Exactly, the only thing you can do is just, you know, shout out your own album on your social medias.
And hope that people are excited enough about it to like, go out and buy it or like buy it on any platform like Spotify or Apple Music and stuff like that.
Exactly. And also like I know Logic is a big proponent of mental health, hence that's like what Everyday is all about.
Yeah.
And Confessions of a Dangerous Mind is all about mental health.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that contributes to these people wanting to retire early because the industry that they're in is just it's bad for your mental health.
Yeah, it's too much sometimes.
Because
And
you're always on, you know, you never have time to just unwind and take the persona off.
yeah, that's true. Because either you're on for the next album, or you're on for people on social media, or you're on for your fans in general. And it's always like you have to be this image that people expect you to be at all times.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's rough, man, and it's understandable as to why some artists out there want to retire and just. I would say like in the viewpoint of Logic, it Twitch streaming it's still pretty hard in a sense where like some people like to put on personas, and that's like the main reason why other people follow them on Twitch because of that persona. But
Yeah.
you don't have to, and I think that's what Logic likes, that he wants to go on Twitch and play video games and just be himself how he truly wants to be, and hopefully be free from quote unquote the chains of the record label.
Yeah, definitely. And I really do hope that like he enjoys it and he finds success in
Yeah.
streaming.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully, I'm gonna be checking him out. I'm gonna be checking him out on Twitch. I want to see
Oh, the hell yeah.
what games he plays and how good he is and stuff like that. But staying on the topic of like advertisement and stuff, the question I wanted to bring up to you before we started the podcast. Now that this whole coronavirus is going on and we're stuck indoors and constantly watching Netflix and Hulu and all these streaming platforms, and you know how on YouTube many artists and creators, whether they're drawing or making music or making shows like Game Grumps and stuff like that, their revenue has gone down greatly, right?
Hmm.
Just because of the situation we're in, and companies not having the money to pay their employees, that being YouTube as well, because it's a giant corporation. I personally, like, I don't know if this helps at all. I wanted to ask you, do the ads on YouTube videos, does the revenue go directly to YouTube, or does at least some of it go to the person that's making the video where the ad appears on?
I can't tell you exactly how it works
Uh
because I'm under contract. No,
huh.
no, it's because I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's why I
Um,
brought up the question because I wasn't sure myself.
yeah, and like the terms of service they change a lot.
Yeah, they're constantly shifting.
So what was accurate, a year ago might not be accurate now. But the last thing that I remember
Uh huh.
is that when, for example, you have a YouTuber like Markiplier
Yeah.
who isn't part of an MCA or something.
Mm-hmm.
He's not part of an organization. It's just him.
Yeah.
YouTube will take 50% of all the ad revenue that he makes from the ads that play on his videos.
Really?
Yeah,
That's a big chunk. Holy crap.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
But because he isn't part of like a different kind of organization
Pretty
or he
much
isn't
like
part of a network,
yeah, pretty much like a
he
union.
takes that whole other 50%, and then he gets to decide what to do with the rest of it because he does have like I figure he has people on payroll. He has like two editors.
Mm-hmm.
He has, even though his girlfriend is like one of his camera people.
Uh-huh.
You got to compensate people for their time.
Yeah, of course.
Plus, he doesn't have a studio, but I think he rents or owns a house.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the cost of living.
Yeah, yeah, that it adds up.
So YouTube does give them money, but I think I heard somewhere that YouTubers who sell a lot of merch will
Yeah.
make more money off of merch than they do from YouTube ads, especially in January.
Really? Okay. I see. Wait, January? Why January specifically?
Because the 3 months, the three bigs, October, November, December, that's when advertisers really push their products.
Uh-huh.
Because obviously you have like Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Halloween.
Yeah, of course.
So there's a lot of advertisements that are geared toward that. But
Oh.
January, you just have New Year's and that's it.
Oh, and I'm guessing because of 3 holiday months, people don't really have as much money to spend on merchandise. Whereas in
True.
January they would remember the advertisement that they saw for their merchandise and be like, hey, I have spare money. I want to buy this.
No, January is when you get the lowest amount of money.
Oh, I thought you meant that was the highest amount of money.
No, the highest are October, November, and December.
Oh, okay, then that makes a lot more sense. Okay, I understand now.
Yeah, January, like people even say like, oh, I like PewDiePie. He took January off like 2 years ago because the ad revenue was just garbage.
Oh, I see. Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so to answer your question, YouTube does give them money. Last time I heard it was 50%,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously, like if a YouTuber you like has merchandise or they have sponsors like Raid Shadow Legends, Raycon earphones, Honey,
Yeah,
like YouTube can't touch that money.
yeah, because that's directly going to them from the sponsors.
Exactly. Either it's like a one time, here's a bunch, or it's like a subscription, or not a subscription, a commission
Yeah,
base where if you like go to Honey and use code Mark, you get
yeah.
10% off. Like that commission they get from using their codes.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, because I've seen videos where like the content creators they or at least not videos but just interactions with like on social media with the content creators saying um the audience should listen or at least watch the YouTube ads because at least some revenue goes to them for every ad that's watched in their videos.
Hmm.
Like rather than just pressing the skip button.
Yeah,
And
and then I think, sorry to cut you off,
no,
but
go for it. It's cool.
if a YouTuber that you like has like has that thing that you can like join their community on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, if you do that, I think if someone who joins their community watches an ad, the YouTuber themselves will get 70 to 100% of that ad money.
Really?
Yeah, because YouTube I think takes that subscription.
Oh, I see. So if you're part of that group, not skipping an ad would benefit them even more so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because that was where I was leading up to. Because before we started the podcast, I was watching some YouTube videos, and I realized that on at least the channels that I would like to watch, they're not as full of ads as others. You know, some of them only
Mm-hmm.
have ads in the beginning or in the end, but they tend to, you know, take their audience in account about the fact that nobody really likes watching ads in general. So they
Yeah.
stick to having ads in the beginning and at the end. And I was like, if these ads help those content creators with even a little bit of money, since I myself don't have much income and I can't support them by joining their, you know, their group or you know, donating on their live streams and stuff like that, the least I could do would be to watch these ads, even if it's just a minute or two long, and hopefully some of that revenue would go to them. You know what I mean? Any little
Yeah.
bit helps. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, if, you know, that led to my question to you, that if they do receive some income from the ads, then that's what I will start doing. I'll be like, I'll start watching a video, or at least for the channels that I really enjoy watching, that I'm very passionate about and enjoy their creations, and I enjoy the people.
Mm-hmm.
At least for them, every time I watch one of their videos, I'll just let the ads roll instead of just skipping it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's good. I mean, if anything, I might join somebody's group eventually, and hopefully help them in that form.
Yeah, definitely. Like I know PewDiePie, if he joined his community or something,
Yeah.
he doesn't even keep that money.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, he says everyone who joins his community, like at the whenever they collect the money, like at the beginning or the end,
Mm-hmm.
every month they donate it to a charity.
Oh, that's so dope.
Cause freaking PewDiePie's like as wealthy as like he wants to be.
Yeah, he's
Like
comfortable.
I don't think, and he even says himself like he doesn't like having money is good,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not the driving force in his life.
Yeah.
Like it definitely helps and it definitely makes his life more comfortable, but it's not the reason why he wakes up in the morning.
Yeah, because I mean, it helps because mainly that's just how the world works. But he loves making what it, or he loves doing what he does.
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's very wholesome.
Yeah. So if I join, if there's a community or group that I would join, it would probably be PewDiePie's, just for that reason.
Yeah, for donations. Didn't a content creator, I don't know who on YouTube, have their merchandise go directly, like all the revenue from the merchandise go directly to a charity? Like I think Jacksepticeye does that, or Mark or PewDiePie, one of them. I forgot who. But like if you buy some of their merch, all that money, like they don't take any of it. It just goes directly to charity. So I know that a content creator I follow, one of them, his name is like Vati Vidya,
Hmm.
and it's spelled very weirdly, but I followed him specifically because he makes Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and you know, all those games. He makes content for those games, and he releases some of the most amazing artwork I've ever seen when it comes to that type of genre of games.
Yeah.
And he makes, and it's very limited edition stuff. Like he makes like a piece of artwork for a t-shirt or a sweater, and then he adds this little twist on it, like where the moon is red, or there's blood spatters are red while everything else is in black and white. And he even tells his audience, like, only for a limited time can you get this special edition shirt. um and then he stops selling it, and all he sells is the black and white overall. and
Oh.
and what I love about it is that, as I'm not 100% sure, but from what I remember is that no matter what you buy from his merch, all that money goes to a charity. I forgot what charity
Oh,
it
that's
was.
nice.
So I'm like, that's really cool. I like it because you get a great piece of artwork either on a shirt or for your wall, and then on top of that, you're helping, you know, a charity. So it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I gotta say for now.
Yeah. That's all I got to.
Yeah. I guess we'll just wrap it up here then.
Yeah. Anything you want to close it out?
Sure thing. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for joining us on another episode of our podcast, and we appreciate you if you stuck around this long. Let us know in the comments below what you think about, you know, what's going on with these people retiring from their musical careers to pursue something else. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And hopefully we'll see you in the next one. We really appreciate you being here.
Victor, you forgot the biggest news.
What is it? Joel.
We got merch. No, I'm kidding. I'm just joking. We don't have merch yet.
I mean, you kind of do on your stickers.
Oh, that's right. I have a Redbubble if anyone wants to see it.
Yeah, Jolin draws some awesome stuff. You know, don't tell him. Don't let him hear this. All right, it's just between you and me, guys. All right. Jolin doesn't think he draws that well, but I personally think he does an amazing job. So go out and check his stuff on Redbubble. It's Get Buddha, and
it's not Get Buddha.
It's not Get Buddha?
No.
Oh, what is it? Is it just Jolin Reed?
It's _ Holland Joe.
Holland Joe or Holland Joe?
Holland, like the country, but with an extra E at the end. And then Joe.
All right. Well, there you go. You guys heard it here. Joe, check him out on Redbubble, see what he has, and you know, if you like it, you could get it as a sticker or something.
Yeah. But anyways, we'll definitely comment down below if there's a topic that you want us to discuss. If we can actually, you know, formulate sentences and speak our mind, then we'll do it.
Yeah, definitely.
You can check us out on Spotify as well if you're on the go. And we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.
Stay beautiful.